What's up, guys? So today we are going to be talking in week 4 of Mission Possible. And the first thing I want to talk about is if you've ever seen a Jack in the Box. So a Jack in the Box, when you're little, it's super scary. Actually, I talked to people today about if they had a Jack in the Box, and they said, no, why would I have one? That's creepy. So when you're younger, you're not ready, right, for it to go around and to pop out. But when you get older, as you see it more and more, and sometimes you practice it yourself, you become ready for the Jack in the Box to come out of the box, and it won't scare you as much. So real quick, we're gonna jump into 1 Peter 3:8 through 17. Finally, all of you should be of one mind, sympathize with each other, love each other as brothers and sisters, be tender-hearted and keep a humble attitude. Don't repay evil for evil. Don't retaliate with insults when people insult you. Instead, pay them back with a blessing. That is what God has called you to do, and he will grant you with his blessing. For the scriptures say, if you want to enjoy life and see many happy days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. The eyes of the Lord watch over those who do right, and his ears are open to their prayers. But the Lord turns his face against those who do evil. Now, who will want to harm you if you're eager to do good? But even if you suffer for doing what is right, God will reward you for it. So don't worry or be afraid of their threats. Instead, you must worship Christ as Lord of your life. And if someone asks about your hope as a believer, always be ready to explain it. But do this in a gentle and respectful way. Keep your conscience clear. Then if people speak against you, they will be ashamed when they see what a good life you live because you belong to Christ. Remember, it is better to suffer for doing good, if that is what God wants, than to suffer for doing wrong. Now I ask you, are you ready to share your faith? That can be a scary thing. And even people who are adults can tell you that it is sometimes scary. But I want you to think about, what are you sharing with others around you right now? By your actions, by what you say, and how you act around them. We introduced last week Saul of Tarsus. Saul had a zeal for the Lord that created a purpose in him to do away with everyone who would call themselves followers of the way or Christianity, because he thought it was against Jewish law. Now, N.T. Wright says in his book, Paul, a biography, Paul's zeal stemmed from a teacher that shared to people that if God was going to establish his reign on earth as in heaven, then those who were zealous for God and Torah would have to say their prayers, sharpen their swords, and get ready for action. Now we know from 1 Peter and in Paul's later letters that we are called to have a more gentle approach to sharing the gospel. That we should do it with urgency, but we should do it out of a sense of love, not out of a sense of zeal of being right. I have one last story that I want to share with you. This is an old story that some of you might have heard, but maybe not. A guy is walking down the street when suddenly he falls into a deep hole he just hadn't seen as he walked along. The walls are so steep he can't climb out. A doctor happens to walk by and the guy shouts, "Hey doc, can you help me out here?" The doctor writes out a prescription and throws it down the hole. Another person comes by and he says, "Hey, can you help me?" And the guy outside of the hole tells him how to get out and leaves. But then the man's best friend comes by and he shouts to Joe, and Joe jumps into the hole, and the guy says, "What did you do that for? Now we're both stuck down here." But the friend says, "Yeah, but I've been down here before and know the way out." So as we talk about evangelizing and spreading the word of the Lord, I ask you, are you ready to get dirty and down in the trenches with those around you?
Bye.